Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a bit of a wrecking ball, you could say, to the very stiff formalities of the 18th century. We're going to be pulling out the sharpest bits from a really important debut novel, Frances Burney's Evelina.
Exactly. And the core idea, the question it asks is fascinating. What actually happens when you take a good, very sheltered young woman, raised completely apart from society, and just, boom, drop her into the chaos and, well, the glamour of 18th century London?
It's a great setup, and we're diving straight into excerpts from Evelina, or A Young Lady's Entrance into the World. This book is like a time machine, isn't it? It shows you the absolute extremes, unbelievable politeness, right next to, frankly, shocking vulgarity, all through her innocent eyes.
That's right. Our mission today is sort of to trace the arc of her social debut, look at the satire, which is incredibly sharp, and uncover the truth about who she actually is,
Yeah.
which is quite the reveal.
And we should probably say up front, this book wasn't some slow discovery. It was huge right away, an anonymous hit. The fact that it's an epistolary novel told just through letters, and it immediately got ranked alongside giants like Rousseau, Johnson, Fielding, well, that tells you everything about its impact on this species of writing, as they said then.
Yeah, the letter format is so important because we only see things through Evelina's eyes or through the worried letters from her guardian, Mr. Villars. It gives you this really immediate kind of raw feeling. You feel her embarrassment, her confusion. It really pulls you in because you experience it with her.
Okay, so let's unpack her situation. She's 17. She's been raised in what the book calls most secluded retirement at Berry Hill. Her guardian, Mr. Villars, is incredibly protective. He calls her the comfort of my age. He's clearly terrified of exposing her to the world.
But her whole situation is precarious, isn't it? She's technically the daughter of a rich baronet, Sir John Belmont. But he completely denies the marriage to her mother, who's passed away. So legally, she's entitled to a fortune, maybe two, but she can't even use his name.
So she's got no official standing. Her status is all based on adoption and friendship, as Villars puts it, an heiress, but publicly illegitimate.
Which in 18th century London, that's social death, basically. You have potential wealth, but zero reputation, a disaster.
And Villars knows this. He desperately wants to shield her, maybe guide her towards a quieter life, a moderate fortune, keep her away from the delusions of high society pleasure.
You can feel his anxiety right through the letters. He dreads what society will do to her. What really forces his hand, though, is the arrival of her grandmother, Madame Duval.
Oh, Madame Duval. Villars does not hold back describing her, does he?
Not at all. He calls her uneducated and unprincipled, ungentle in her temper, and unamiable in her manners. Ouch.
Pretty savage. And Madame Duval wants to basically drag Evelina off to France.
Right. And that threat is what finally pushes Villars to agree, reluctantly, to let Evelina go to London for her debut. Under the care of Lady Howard and Mrs. Mervyn, he kind of realizes, I think, that books and lessons aren't enough anymore. She needs real experience.
So off she goes to the big city. And reality doesn't quite match the hype, does it?
Not even close.
Yeah.
That's where you get those wonderful, slightly naive critiques of London. She's expecting grandeur, but the Mall in St. James's Park is just a long, straight walk of dirty gravel, very uneasy to the feet.
Huh. And St. James's Palace, just plain brick. Such an anticlimax for her.
And then the panic about fitting in starts immediately. The fashion is just extreme.
Oh, the hair. She describes it being dressed full of powder and black pins and a great cushion on the top of it. She's worried she'll never get a comb through it again because it's all entangled, frizzled, they call it. It's like putting on a costume just to exist.
Absolutely. And the actual social events, the assemblies, are completely overwhelming. She says, I believe I saw half the world. And she feels instantly awkward, shocked to find how silly, how childish a part I had acted when she's dancing.
But it's in these ballrooms, trying to navigate all this, that we meet the two key men, right? The sort of opposing forces in her story.
Exactly. You have Lord Orville on one hand. He's the absolute ideal of politeness, respectful, attentive. She praises his delicacy, his sense and of feeling. He's the gold standard of honorable behavior.
The good guy. And then there's the other one, Sir Clement Willoughby.
Ah, Sir Clement. He's described as the artful designing man. His behavior often feels like it's bordering upon insult. Burney uses him brilliantly to show how charm and wit can actually be weapons. He's smooth, but underneath, not so much.
He proves that just because someone has good manners doesn't mean they're a good person. That whole polish versus substance thing.
Precisely. And that difference is really driven home when Evelina has to deal with her less refined relatives, The Brantons.
Oh, God. The Brantons, residing in Bishopsgate Street, they are peak cringe, aren't they?
They really are. They represent that sort of grasping, aspiring middle class with absolutely zero social grace. It's painful.
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. They just jump right in, asking her how much her silk dress cost. And does she make her own caps?
Total violation of polite conversation. It's all about money and status. But they completely misunderstand how it all works.
And the daughter's getting offended because Evelina won't go to the opera gallery with them because they think the more expensive pit seats need a better dress than the boxes. It just shows their cluelessness.
And they gossip so crudely about their poor lodger, Mr. McCartney. They assume he must have stolen a ring he gave them. Just mean-spirited.
It shows that vulgarity isn't just about lacking money, it's about lacking, well, empathy, basic decency.
Exactly. And speaking of a lack of decency, even among the upper crust, we have to talk about Captain Mervyn and Sir Clement Willoughby's treatment of Madame Duval.
Right. Burney uses their cruelty to make a point, too, doesn't she? That the aristocracy can be just as awful, just in a different way.
For sure. I mean, the ducking incident, it's infamous.
They literally drag Madame Duval out of her coach at Ranelagh, Captain Mervyn in disguise.
Yep, pull her out, shove her in a ditch, she loses her hair curls. It's played partly for laughs in the novel, but it's genuinely brutal.
It's assault, not exactly high society fun.
No, it's not. And it highlights Captain Mervyn's intense prejudice, his fixed and most prejudiced hatred of whatever is not English, especially the French, embodied by Madame Duval. Their antagonism fuels a lot of the novel's coarser humor. The practical jokes just keep coming.
Like the treason hoax. That's just malicious.
Terribly so.
Uh-huh.
Sir Clement and the captain convince Madame Duval that her French friend, Mignonne Dubois, has been arrested for spying. Treasonable practices against the government.
Ugh.
She absolutely panics, desperate to get him released. It's psychological torture, really.
So Burney forces you to ask, right? Are these supposedly refined gentlemen with their calculated cruelty any better than the crass Brantons?
It's a great question.
Hmm?
And the answer seems to be maybe not, maybe worse in some ways.
Before we get to how it all wraps up, we have to mention the monkey prank. It's just too absurd.
Oh, the monkey. Yes, Captain Mervyn's revenge on Mr. Lovell, this really foppish, palavering guy in Bath.
He gets a monkey, dresses it up, and lets it loose in the room.
Pretty much. Just to provoke Lovell, who is utterly terrified and flees. It's pure slapstick.
It's almost like Burney uses this extreme farce to show how ridiculous the whole performance of polite society is. It's fragile.
I think so. It highlights the absurdity underpinning all the rigid rules. It must have been exhausting.
Okay, so let's shift to the secrets, the plot twists. We come back to Mr. McCartney, the gloomy lodger.
Right, the one the Brantons were so awful about. And Evelina, showing her true kindness, had secretly given him £1,000 earlier when he was really down on his luck.
And that kindness pays off in a way. It leads to the big reveal.
It does. McCartney, touched by her generosity, confesses his story. He reveals he's actually the son of Sir John Belmont.
Evelina's father.
Exactly. She realizes instantly this is her half-brother. The shock makes her burst into tears. It's a huge moment.
And this leads to uncovering the other big secret, the deception.
Yes. The girl everyone thought was Sir John's acknowledged daughter, the current Miss Belmont. Turns out she's an imposter.
Not his daughter at all.
Nope. She's the daughter of Evelina's first nurse, a woman named Dame Green. Years ago, Dame Green swapped the babies, put her own daughter in Evelina's place to inherit the fortune.
Wow. That's cold. So Evelina finally meets her actual father, Sir John Belmont. How does that go?
It's incredibly emotional. He sees the resemblance to Evelina's mother immediately. He's completely overcome with guilt, with grief. He begs her not to hate him, cries out something like, "Thy countenance is a dagger to my heart." It finally resolves that tension. She might not have had the name, but her inherent nobility is undeniable.
So identity confirmed. What's the resolution? Does she get her inheritance, her place in society?
It happens fast. Pushed along by this sharp character, Mrs. Selwyn, working with Sir John, they arrange a double wedding. Very neat.
A double wedding. Who gets married?
Evelina, now officially recognized as Miss Belmont, gets to marry her true love, Lord Orville. And she gets £30,000 immediately. And her half-brother, McCartney, gets to marry the girl who was raised as Miss Belmont Polly Green, the nurse's daughter. She gets provided for, too.
And Lord Orville, still the perfect gentleman.
Absolutely. He's thrilled, of course, but insists they must get Mr. Villiers' formal blessing first, though he's definitely eager to make their engagement public. It just reaffirms his genuine honor.
It's crucial, though, to remember who almost wrecked all this, isn't it? Sir Clement Willoughby.
Yes. We can't forget him. Remember, he forged that awful, contemptuous letter pretending to be from Orville. It made Evelina doubt Orville completely, led to that humiliating public scene at Marybone Gardens.
It's Burney's final contrast, right? Willoughby's sophisticated lies versus Orville's real decency.
Exactly. Evelina ultimately sees through the performance and chooses true character. It validates her own judgment, her own virtue.
And Burney herself got validated, too. After publishing anonymously, the buzz was huge. People desperately wanted to know who wrote it.
And the biggest literary figure of the day, Dr. Samuel Johnson, gave it the ultimate seal of approval.
What did he say again? Something about Fielding.
He said quite definitively that there is nothing so delicately finished in all Harry Fielding's works as an Evelina. High praise indeed. And then the killer line, Harry Fielding knew nothing but the shell of life.
Wow. So Fielding got the outside, the adventure, the shell, but Burney, writing from this young woman's perspective, got the inside, the emotional reality, the kernel.
That's the implication, that her focus on interior feeling and social nuance was actually deeper, more insightful.
And the book was a massive success, written, as Burney said, to show the world what it appears to a girl of 17.
And his popularity had real impact. It fed into this growing idea of a vast reading public for intelligent books at a low price, something the founder of Penguin Books pointed to later. It helped shape modern publishing in a way.
So, here's something to think about as you go about your day. Burney showed how much performance was needed just to survive in 18th century society. The clothes, the manners, the careful words. It was often fake, often cruel. Why do you think readers back then found this story, a young woman thrown into that world, so entertaining and also such powerful satire? And what does her experience navigating all that performance still tell us about the rules we all navigate today?
That's definitely worth mulling over.
Thank you for joining us for the deep dive. We'll see you next time.